This is a MasterPath New Seekers meeting, but loved ones, we can't push MasterPath down anyone's throat. That's not going to work for new seekers. They're so sensitive to proselytizing and zealots and people pushing their own hidden agenda that I just don't want to go there. I don't want to come off that way. That's not what the path is about. So I think that's a good thing. Thank you. I'm enough standing up here above you like this. I should be right down on your own level and sitting down right with you and talking to you looking right into your eyes. Just like one-on-one. But I have to do that on the inside planes, and as the MasterPath unfolds and grows, there's such a need for true spirituality that it's impossible for me to give the one-on-one care and talk and discussion that I would like to. And I know you understand that. But this is a new seekers meeting, and I would just kind of like to start out in saying that what Joy mentioned, I'm up here just to chat with you. That's kind of the vibration, the aura I would like to come across to you this afternoon. I'm just up here to chat. I don't want to lay any heavies on anybody or guilt trips or fear tactics or anything like this. I'd like to make it very relaxed. Spirituality is a fun thing. It's a lovely thing. And sometimes people can get too hyped up or too angry about a new teaching in the area or one that's advancing quite quickly, and they become threatened or concerned, and I don't want to promote any of this. I would like to assure the new seekers here today that the world that you live in and that you witness and experience every day is not as haphazard as you might think. We're born into this world with no say about it. The first thing we kind of realize is we're 2 or 3 years old and being taught how to talk and how to think and how to act. We're not sure where we came from or why we're here. And as one grows up, they witness the world and it gets pretty shaky. The conflicting points of view and the political environment and the moral environment and just making a living in life and all the divergent points of views and philosophies. And one wonders if it's even in control. Some people even are amazed by the fact our planet stays afloat in space and just doesn't crash someplace or run into another planet. And you look up at the sky and you see the galaxy and the cosmos and you just wonder, oh my God, we're so small, we're so finite. And while looking at this infinite vision, this cosmos above us, and we feel about this high and we wonder if anyone knows who we are or knows about us. And the world seems very, very haphazard. I want to assure you that it is not haphazard at all. I want to assure you that there is a supreme objective to life. I don't care if you're a saint or a bum, handicapped, educated, uneducated. I don't care what race you are, what country you were raised in. The world is not out of place and it's running in perfect order. But this would come as a surprise to the intellectual, and I understand that. And that's why I'm saying that no, it's not haphazard. Everything is in place. Everyone's down here for a specific reason and objective. We strive to find out what that is. We call that a truth seeker, a spiritual seeker, which this meeting is. It's for spiritual seekers. But everything's in place. And some of you spiritual seekers have come here with question marks. Some are more certain than others, and that's just lovely. I embrace all inquiries. But you wonder, geez, what's going on? Do I have to pick and choose? Do I have to find the specific path? How am I ever going to do that with all these conflicting doctrines and all the messages given by adamant leaders and forceful sermons and pointing at one and kind of a pressure trip. And one wonders, how am I ever going to learn or find out what I need to have my own life run in perfect harmony and to fulfill the objective that I am down here to first discover and then pursue. And the whole thing can become a real mental mystery, and we can become stressed out, and a lot of anxiety can erupt within us when we flash and contemplate subjects such as that. And I want to tell you that everything is in place. Nothing's out of place. And the reason for that, loved ones, is everything is a relative world, and I'll touch upon that in just a little bit. I would also like to give a message and the distinct understanding that MasterPath respects all spiritual doctrines on the globe. Some are better than others. Most of them are good. Some of them maybe not so good. But even in that definition, MasterPath respects all doctrines. I'm not up here to derail any teaching, to expose any doctrine, to somehow insinuate that someone is in error if they should follow something other than MasterPath or anything else. That's not true and that's not correct. MasterPath is very, very big and understands the need for all the multifarious doctrines in the world. I would also like to pointedly say that we respect all souls, not only in America, but in every country on the globe. Those souls that are inhabiting different planets in our own solar system, those entities in different galaxies than the Milky Way. MasterPath respects all souls, no matter what level of consciousness they have evolved to, no matter what belief they have embraced as their own. It all fits in. It is not a haphazard world. And loved ones, the reason just for that, I'm not just spinning you a nice line, but it's because of relativity. Everything is relative in our world. And if I could just momentarily explain this, our truest essence is our soul. It's not our body, it's not our mind. It's what we call the soul. And everyone that is living, animals, plants, human beings, angels, even higher entities that we don't even have a word to describe, are all embodied with a soul. Now, a soul comes down from the highest region and descends. Devolves is the proper word, and descends downward through region after region until eventually it arrives on the physical plane. Every teaching that we know of has started in some region, some higher than others, but they too have descended downward to furnish the souls at all these different levels a teaching by which they can practice and follow and ultimately evolve their own consciousness. The cosmos is set up very much like an educational system with 12th grade, 11th, 10th, all the way on down. And the reason that we have no arguments or hostilities or disagreements with any soul or any path is because a MasterPath Chela realizes that the whole system is ongoing and everyone is at a completely different level of evolvement. And that word is called relativity. Everything is relative. So there are some souls that have come down millions of years ago and are just starting now to wrap up their unfoldment and in the process of returning to heaven. And they're going up this way. There's many souls that still exist in the physical, and when they translate, they either go to the causal or the astral, and they're involved in this circular pattern, marching through time and space and gaining experience in this plane. There are other souls, loved ones, just coming down from the higher regions that haven't even reached the physical plane yet. In 1,000, 10,000, even 10 million years, there will be souls continually being fed down into the physical plane and starting their experience right from the very beginning, much like children entering kindergarten. There's always a new influx. And because of that, I'm trying to give you the understanding that since the system, the cosmological system, is of this nature, there's a major recirculation process going on in God's worlds, and so we never can come in and definitively say all men, all women, all human life is created equal. We are equal in the fact that we are embodied with the soul. But where the soul is on its vast journey is all up in the air. It's all non-equal, if I could use that word. Everyone, we've got first graders, we've got second, we've got third. And so those religions and those paths that don't understand that everyone isn't equal. Some are coming in and they're just learning about their human body. They can't even really uphold or exemplify true human traits and qualities. They're more in the primitive stage, which there's nothing negative about that at all, but within their body, they're more in these lower chakras. And the longer you stay on the physical plane and reincarnate back and forth, the more that you evolve in consciousness and you start rising on these chakras. So we have people that are millions of people living from this level, millions from this level, and on up, all the way up here to our third eye. There's millions of people at each level. And so how can someone at the heart chakra denounce someone at the navel or the reproductive, you see? How can the seventh grader say that a first grader is out of it and they don't get it? They're negative. Well, no, not at all. A first grader is a first grader and they will be up to seventh grade in time. So this is relativity, loved ones, and this is what I would wish for you to understand when sizing up the MasterPath. We do not have any axe to grind with anyone, and we respect everyone, okay? Well, then what does the MasterPath deal with? Well, the MasterPath deals with those individuals that are ready for the return journey back to God. This is probably the heaviest and most profound event of a soul's entire sojourn. Once they leave the kingdom of heaven and come down, go through the physical life, eventually they get to the spot where they are looking for the truth and they want answers. When they are duly prepared and duly ready, and they have seen that life of itself does not give them the inspiration and the fulfillment that it once did, they naturally start looking for truth. That's what a spiritual seeker is.